Hey guys, my name is James with Strada Performance. I would like to talk to you guys about what I do here and introduce myself, where I come from. So, I come from the world of roll racing or just competitive racing. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and finally I've got the tool to test it without always going back to another shop and paying them hourly. So now I have all the time in my hands to test what work and what don't work, if you would call myth busting things. And mostly what I do here is about fuel. I love testing fuel, what work and what don't work, what makes more power, how many degrees of timing I could give this thing. And I R&D it myself on my own bike. And honestly, I am very grateful to be able to do this and learn this on a fuel tech, because that's where I learn almost everything is from. It's on fuel tech because it's just so fast. It's real-time adjustments. So basically you make an adjustment, you make a pass, you don't have to wait 15 minutes to flashers to you. So that's where I get really good at this, is trying things on fuel tech. So I just want to say that that's what makes me really good at tuning in any other platform, just because any other platform, it takes so long just to flash your ECU. So I've learned so much using fuel tech. I appreciate you. Fuel tech, you guys are amazing. And I am looking forward also to work with Max ECU now. So that's in the works. Now let's talk about what I do here with my flashes from 91, E85, C85, MR12, or even M5. So let's talk about 91 first. I don't know if you guys know, but all these bikes from factory, they are supposed to run 91 octane, and they're tuned for 91 octane or higher without ethanol content. So even though their fuel system is built for ethanol content, their fuel is not calibrated for that. So what happened is, as of most of the pumps in the whole United States have ethanol content up to 12.5%. Some states 15%. What happened to your calibration is your AFR, air fuel ratio, goes leaner from factory. And now you add modifications like your full system exhaust, your air filter, your velocity stacks will make your bike even leaner. So I tell people all the time, hey, just at least get a flash to calibrate that fueling to make sure it's not so lean, so you could have and enjoy your bike for a long time. And what I do here is I correct that for some people that want just everyday riding. I usually just correct the AFR and remove limitations and make sure all the fan on sooner and also all the throttle limitations all gone. I don't touch any timing for those everyday rider that want to just go to point A to B or just go to the canyons like 90% of the people are. Now, what I also do here, I do what I also do here is, for people that likes to go to the track or roll racing, I just target those things differently. For track riders, I make sure that their bike is happy because it's always up top in the high RPM. Don't touch the timing at all. Just make sure the AFR is nice and on the richer side, just to keep the engine happy when they are on the track, revving their bike for 15 minutes straight, so it's reliable. And the turn on sooner, and the throttle management. So for track riders, I usually make the throttle management pretty much smoother rather than these roll racers or people that race in Mexico, or drag racers where they want their throttle to be 1-to-1. Means you ask for 10%, they give you 10%. Most of these newer bikes, their electronic throttle valves, it's very limited where you give it 100% and it's only giving you 50%. So I target that differently for whatever you intend to use the bike for. So now let's talk about fueling. We do here E85, C85, MR12, and M5. Now let's talk about the power difference. The power difference between 91 to E85 is about 8 to 10, and 91 to C85 is 10 to 14, depending on the bike, the compression, etc. We could get into that later. Now MR12, I also see almost the same game with with C85, about 10 to 12. And that's great for people that don't want to do extensive fueling system on some of their bikes. But on the newer bikes like the Gixxer L7, like 2017 plus, ZX10Rs 16 plus, Fireblades, on newer 1000, they are able to run C85. Any upgrades besides maybe down the line, you gotta do your fuel that is ethanol compatible when the time comes. So now let's talk about M5. Everybody talk about M5. So everybody want to run M5 and it sounds good, but people don't understand what it takes to run M5. So number one thing that I want to talk about M5, it is a pretty big horsepower gain, but it's also a very volatile fuel. What I mean by that is, number one, it's not forgiving. So you go lean for 2-3 pulls where it's not the right target, you will melt your pistons. But it gives you about what, 25 horsepower over 91. So it's a crazy gain, but also there's a lot of maintenance. So for a lot of people that want to do M5, you just have to understand a couple of things. I'm not just gonna give anyone M5 tune unless they understand about air fuel ratio, they understand what it comes with, what you have to do. It's not an easy fuel to run. People think that you just put in, no, it's not. After you race it, you gotta pull out the fuel, you gotta flush the system, extensive fuel system that you gotta run. All right, change your spark plug almost every day race. Okay, and pull your oil out because M5 will get into your oil and you have to run catch can. So there's a lot of things that you need to do to run M5. And also, again, it's a very volatile fuel, so it changes within the weather. So you have to have a tuner on tap. And if you're that guy that, you know, your tuner work with you, or you don't want to keep paying a tuner for a revision because you will have to adjust fuel target when it goes leaner. If it's go richer, about 2-3 points, like 0.3, 0.4, you're okay. But if it goes leaner, where it's to the point that I'll tell you, hey, this is not, you gotta off at this target, and you keep going, you'll melt some pistons. So all I want to talk about, I'm just introducing myself and talk about fuel. If you guys have any question about whatever tune you want to run or what is the best for you, you're always welcome. You always can hit me up at Strada Tuning on Instagram, and also could call me. I have my phone number there on my Instagram. So I want to say I'm very grateful for all the support, and I promise you I'll do you guys right. And that's all for today, guys. Let's go, let's compete, let's be faster than the next guy, and if you get beat, there's always room to go faster. See ya.